All right, everybody, welcome. Dark Horse After Dark. We all know each other. JJ, Liz, Brooke. First thing we're going to do, I'd like to start off with a cocktail. We call this the, was it Bumbaleo? What do we call it? What's the name of it?
It's a bebop.
A bebop, all right. So what we started with is lime, fresh mint, a little bit of ice in there, and then I'm going to give you guys a choice. You can start off with a little honey whiskey, gin, vodka, and then we're going to top it off with lemonade and champagne. So who's doing what? Ladies?
I'll do the Tito's.
Tito's it is. You got it.
I'm gonna go with whiskey.
Whiskey? JJ?
I'll do Tito's also.
All right, so we want to have 2 Tito's, 1 whiskey. I mean, somebody's got to have the gin, so we got to try that.
What are you gonna do? The gin?
I'm going to do the gin. As much as I am not really a big gin fan, but I'd like to see how this comes out. I think on a day like this, it's kind of sticky hot out, so a little bit refreshing will be nice. I put the lime in the bottom of the glass just so it can like aerate and everything, so this will be like kind of fun. I'm not a bartender. I've seen them do it before, so I'm giving it my best shot here.
Pressure on the other side of the boat.
Yeah, been doing this since I was 2.
And you also handpicked the mint leaves as well.
I did. You know, I didn't muddle it. I just handpicked it. I just kind of want to let it set in there for a little bit. And this is pink lemonade, courtesy of JJ.
Oh, wow.
Hand squozen these pink lemons.
And you're gonna top it off with champagne?
Little bubs, little bubs.
Oh, it's gonna be so refreshing.
I know, that's what I'm going for. Well, I like champagne in just about anything, so.
I'm more than happy to trade to Bombay.
Really?
Yeah,
You would do that for me.
I would always do that for you.
There you go.
All right, so this is generally how I start off my Sundays.
Like this?
No, like this. Let's do it.
As
Yeah.
my daughter would say, party! Gotta teach them young.
There you go. Mother like daughter.
This looks delicious.
You know the way to
It
my
does
heart.
look good.
The
It
pop
does
for
look
champagne
good.
bottle.
When they hear the cork, they come running.
Whiskey.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
And then
you very
gin.
much.
Thank you guys for coming out. You are the inaugural group of individuals for a little Dark Horse After Dark conversation and cuisine.
Cheers,
So
cheers.
let's see how bad I did, all right?
Wow,
Well, it's not bad.
that is delicious.
It is light and refreshing.
The bubbles.
Whiskey's probably really good, no? All right, so first things first. We're going to take a couple sips of these, and then I'm going to get into the food a little bit. So I sent you guys all out menus. JJ was nice enough to loan me some of his twine that he got from the depot. And these are some cool Dark Horse coffee mugs. So every morning you wake up, you have your cup of coffee or tea. Think of me.
Aw.
But the menus are in here, so that's what we're going to be dining on today. 3 courses. I made a small adjustment to the first course. We're playing around with little cucumbers. And the cats over at Olive and Vinny were kind enough to give me some of their honey ginger white balsamic. It is fantastic. So I marinated some cilantro, cucumbers, and onions. So it's a nice little refreshing slaw. That's going to go along with the arugula for the tuna tartare.
Oh.
Now, basically what I like to do is I like to dice it up. Small dice. But then you have some pieces that might have a little bit of the white gristle in it. I just scrape that off. So that gives me texture when I'm doing the tartare. In this bowl here, I have a little freshly squeezed orange juice. I'm going to add a little soy sauce and some toasted sesame seeds to it. The cucumber slaw with the honey, ginger, white balsamic vinaigrette, and then the fresh arugula. So that's going to be our first course. You got chopsticks right there if you're comfortable. I have forks for those of you that are not. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to get started, and please feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I remember, so JJ, a little bit about your background. You worked at a local steakhouse in Naperville for a little bit
I did.
as a server,
As a server, yes.
and then you got promoted to a manager.
I did.
Where'd you do your training?
I did my training actually. There's a few stores. There was about 20 at the time. I got to go to Indianapolis to train down there.
How was that? How was your being a long-term Sullivan's employee? Did they throw a big party for you or anything?
They got everyone. They're always happy for you. They like to kid around, play some pranks. So it was a little hard getting away to go to training. They didn't want to see me go, so they.
Why was it so hard?
They like to take your car and wrap it in plastic wrap or cover
And
it.
that sounds childish to me. Who would do that?
One of them may have been Corbett, might have been at the other end of the bar top here. She can probably go into detail of
So
the thought.
we all went out of our way to throw a wonderful going away party for JJ, and guess who decides to just vanish? Not tell anybody, go to bed super early, not say goodbye. That was this guy over here. So we were like, hey, we just threw this goodbye party. We're all partying together. Unfortunately, the one person that we're throwing the party for is not here.
True.
And,
It was, I had to get up early, so I enjoyed everyone's company, and then I had to be an adult and get a good night's sleep to drive straight through and start training. But I appreciated everything.
So we thought, what a great way to send you off. And that was, we wrapped his car in cellophane completely. I'll make this as appropriate as I can. We also decided to go to a local open, like Walgreens, and grab feminine products and tape them all along the windows. And needless to say, JJ was late.
I could not see. I had to drive on a highway. Unfortunately, I could not see out my windshield because there's double stick tape all over it. Just. But on that, long story short, still it was a great time. Got through training. They were happy to see me. They understood why I was late, and my family was happy for what I did, and the people that threw the party, and they didn't go after him or anything like that.
Yeah, they did. I feel like
Ahi is Hawaiian for tuna.
Okay.
So it's kind of like redundant. I don't know why we would always say ahi tuna. It's like
It's the same
saying
thing as
tuna
saying
tuna.
really?
Seared tuna is basically what we're saying.
Oh,
So
Just like
I never knew that.
yeah, it's
Like
like
chai tea.
yeah.
Yeah, because chai means tea.
I didn't know that either. You know, isn't that funny though? Outside of Liz, that's how I met Terrell, and I met JJ actually through Jimmy's, but we both worked at Sullivan's.
Yeah.
That's how we all connected. How did you meet Terrell?
I think it was, we were downtown Naperville. I was with a friend, and she introduced me to him, like late into the evening. So I know we were both,
So,
in the bag. But I
that's how
think
the
that
evenings
was
go.
that was definitely the first time I remember meeting you for the first time. It may have been at Bar Louie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it was very
I was
memorable.
completely sober. I was
You always
completely
are.
sober. I remember everything. So
Always
I have a great memory. I don't know.
And then we hear T side of the story.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember?
I just remember everything. So
What else
Can't help it.
do you-
I can't.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you know how we used to do all of those in-home dinners? When you would go and cook at the people's, some of the regulars and customers' houses at Sullivan's, and you would bring me and JK with?
yeah.
This kind of brings me back to,
There you go. You little
yeah,
deja vu.
Yeah, this is
watching T cook.
So what are you doing there?
I get right now I'm adding the toasted sesame seeds in. I got the orange juice in, and I add a little soy sauce to this. I threw a little salt and pepper in there.
I noticed that you said there may be some grizzle, but I didn't see you scrape anything off.
Didn't need to.
Wow.
All clean, baby. When you're a good butcher, you're a good butcher. What can
Yeah,
you do? You know?
God, I think if you pull like 10 of those out, they'd all be the exact same size.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Like even the smell of this right now is really
My
good.
OCD, they're all good shots.
Everything's proportionate for you, JJ.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never buy tuna from a supermarket. There's a couple supermarkets that might do it well. Standard Market, but it'll be very expensive. Mariano, same thing, kind of expensive, and Whole Foods, kind of expensive. Most of the places are selling frozen tuna, and I would not suggest that unless you're just gonna cook it all the way through. If you like tuna raw,
Yeah.
I don't know many supermarkets that are actually buying sushi grade tuna to eat raw. I don't know many supermarkets that are buying like big eye tuna to eat raw.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I would. A lot of people in the restaurant industry. If you wanted it, I would go with a broadliner, so this way you know what you're getting when you do. But those supermarkets that I know they're a little bit more reputable, I would feel better buying a nice tuna steak from them. But I wouldn't just walk into like you know.
Like a Sam's.
Yeah, and just be like, yo, man, let me get that tuna looks pretty red right there. Let me grab that. Like, do you like the biggest thing is notice the color?
Yeah.
Like it's this deep maroon, not pink, not a hot pink color.
Yeah.
It's a deep maroon. And say if we use this tomorrow, the color would change because that's what happens with food. The longer it sits, it starts,
Yeah.
you know, it slowly starts to degrade. So the color would change. That's the natural progression of food. So most of the time, if you want something fresh, you buy it, you eat it. Things should not always stay the same color all the time. So that means to me, something's added to it. There's something in it to change it. So I would never I would never talk bad about a place, but like for what you're putting in your body, just be careful. That's all. I would say go with what you feel more comfortable with. I remember being in Seattle, and like we got our tuna. It came back. I think it was purple.
Really?
Yes.
Was that?
It was that
good?
fresh.
There was that. Okay.
Because like we wouldn't order our seafood till 10 o'clock in the morning when the guys came back from the docks.
Wow.
So we ordered our tuna, our oysters and everything, dropped it off. I mean, you got this beautiful piece of like tuna, and you're just like, being landlocked in Illinois is like, you can get like maybe 1 day off, maybe 2 days off, but like it's just different out there because it's like, boom, it's right there.
Yeah.
The oysters are incredible. Like it's a whole different ballgame. It just, if you're a seafood fan, it changes your world, like being on the Pacific Coast. So.
What about when you used to live in Philly?
Whitefish was always good. It's just it all depends on where you're going. Oysters, Blue Point oysters were always good, but that just a generic term from, say, Northern Virginia to like Long Island, New York. So all those would be considered Blue Point oysters. But it's just it all depends on like what type of seafood you're looking for. But in actual Philadelphia, I mean. You want really good seafood? I'd say probably Baltimore would be a little bit better than us. Go up north to Maine, that would be a little bit better. I pride myself on Philadelphia cuisine. I love Philadelphia cuisine. We have fantastic Italian food, but I'm not even gonna trying to compare seafood. Nah, it's not even fair.
Not even the Jersey Shore, like right there?
You can walk across that river. You know, it's not even right. You can walk across the Schuylkill.
Wow. The color separation?
Yes,
Just
indeed.
beautiful.
What
Thank
you
you.
said this cucumber? What is this? I can smell it. It smells good. What is that?
The cucumber?
Yeah, the
That's the cucumber with the onions, the cilantro, the honey ginger, white balsamic.
Tasty.
Are you filling everything in the back up for it? All right, so next course is coming up are the seared sea scallops. So we're gonna sear them and then we're gonna brulee them.
Oh.
These sea scallops, serve them over some nice lentils with a little bit of asparagus. So, but before we do that, let's get some more beverages going here. So, who wants red? Who wants white? I've got a nice Sauvignon Blanc, courtesy of Blanc.
May I?
Sauvignon Blanc, courtesy of Brooke.
Reload.
I'm using dry packed sea scallops. So, what that means is all the water is taken out of them, and they are packed dry. So the weight is the weight, and that's why I like these sea scallops. I use U10s, under 10 in a pound. Meaty, sexy. Look at these things. Big fan of sea scallops.
So when you said the water is taken out of them, if you were to buy sea scallops that were not like this,
Okay.
what does that mean? You'd have to
So-
take the water out?
No, you can, but what's going to happen is when you cook them, they shrink up a lot.
Okay.
So I like dry packed sea scallops. Like go ahead, just feel how firm that is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all meat. We're gonna be eating all that. All that. They still have what I call the beard attached to them.
What's that?
And this drives me crazy when people sear them and serve it with it. Like right here, this little piece right here,
Yeah.
that's like a little hard muscle. It comes right off, just
Like a soul patch.
kind of like a little soul patch. Yeah, I just take that right off, so this way you don't have to worry about gnawing on that because it's very tough.
Is it kind of like in meat, kind of like the fatty part? Almost.
No, because like even in meat, like if you sear the fatty part down, I mean that can be kind of delicious. You just sit there and gnawing it a little bit, and you have the St. Louis
Like a
ribs. That's
ribeye?
like little fatty. But like with that, that's kind of is more gristly than anything. So I kind of just take that off whenever
Is
I'm
it
working with
easy
sea
to find it?
scallops. Sea scallops or
No,
find the beard? Oh yeah,
beard.
yeah, it stands right out. So
I mean, the
like
facial.
see that?
But yeah.
Yeah, so this is sea scallops are normally smooth, and then the beard is just on it.
So no restaurant connection. where would I be able to find something like this to buy for?
Again, the other I would go with the higher end supermarkets because they'll have dry pack sea scallops.
Okay.
Standard Market, Whole Foods, Mariano's.
Okay.
I've seen some big ones at Jewel, but I've never gotten them from there, so I'm not 100% sure, so I can't really speak on that. But
Okay.
I've seen some larger ones from them before, but I know I've used the ones from Mariano's before. I've used the ones from Whole Foods before. I've used the ones from Standard Market before, so I can only speak to what I've used before. There are some supermarkets that have them frozen. I've never used them frozen.
Yeah.
Just certain seafoods, not a big fan of using frozen, and scallops is definitely one of them. Now if it was a soft shell crab and they're not in season, I don't mind using those frozen. But when they're in season, only fresh, and like you want to get them as big as possible, just because being from the East Coast, soft shell crabs off the shit. So. Brooke, you had a question about what we're going to do with the scallops. So this is my barbecue rub. I'm going to sprinkle it right over these scallops, just like that. You know, little heat is going to activate it, but if you can smell,
Yeah.
it smells like a good time, right?
It does. What's in there? So you make this yourself? What's
Yeah,
in your
this is
barbecue
my
rub?
my special rub. This is a secret I can't just be giving out.
That portion.
I mean, we know each other, but not
I
like
get
that.
it.
Come on,
It's
man.
kind of like the fried green tomatoes. I get it.
You know,
Secrets in the
this
sauce.
is serious stuff right here. This is serious business.
So are you gonna do both sides, or is it just top and then you burn?
Just the top, gonna roulette the top,
And so these are right now. They're already cooked through. You already cooked them,
not cooked through.
not cooked through. So just kind of give them the rest. of
No, I don't always cook my scallops all the way through. I like to get I go like, I guess you would say medium for scallop seaside. You don't want them tough.
Okay.
You don't want them rubbery. You want them nice,
So
juicy,
like
and
temperature
sexy.
wise, you can do it like a steak, like pork chop.
I wouldn't say like a steak, but you just don't
Wow.
want to overcook them.
Don't over. Okay.
Do you smell that?
I do smell that right now.
So it went from like a traditional, like really good barbecue rub, now
Well, when you have like your rubs and stuff,
Oh.
the biggest thing you would like to activate it would be the heat, the slow cook process. But that don't mean you can't do this with scallops or a fish that can stand up to it. Swordfish is another one that's pretty steaky and meaty that you can do a nice crust on.
wow, it smells amazing.
Lentils, put a little onion in here. I use both brown and green lentils. So everything we have here, nice and plated up. We got our brulee barbecue, sea scallops over our lentils with asparagus,
Thank you very much.
sauteed onions, a little mango chili sauce. Now, don't be shy. Get at it. Everything seemed to go well so far. So now today we have dessert. I went a little savory. We got avocado truffles, toasted cashews, dipped in chocolate, little blackberry reduction, fresh blackberries, fresh raspberries, topped off with some candy cashews.
Wow.
So this is gonna be a little bit fun. So I would like, as I drizzle the warm sauce around everything, for you guys to eat this. Keep an open mind, please. Please keep an open mind. This is a little bit different than your normal traditional dessert. So I went full on vegan here. So I'd like to see if this is something that could actually work. And having a resident vegan here who gave up her veganism for a day to get down on some tuna and some scallops with us. And just to see how this goes.
Never paired chocolate and avocado.
Hey man, it's a thing. It's not bad. It's a little bit different.
That's pretty
Outside
on a
the
white
box.
plate.
And I would say, and like I tell everybody, give it a shot. Don't knock it till you try it. And just because you never heard of it, don't mean it doesn't exist. You know,
Where did you get those raspberries? They're perfect.
you got them from actually. You might edit this out. Aldi.
What?
I
Yeah.
handpicked them.
Yeah, I got them from Aldi. And I wasn't gonna get them
Open
because
up
they
all
didn't
their
have
cases,
many.
grab the.
Then the guy came from the back with like raspberries. I was like, my man.
Wow.
And they look absolutely fantastic.
They
They
do.
are vibrant. They exude all sorts of redness.
So So I would take that's.
Very happy about
Running
this.
out of
Is that
words.
dark chocolate?
This is straight dark chocolate, yeah. 85% cocoa.
Coco.
85%.
So the avocado truffle, have you done that before?
No, that's why I'm trying it
It's the
out here.
first time, yeah. We're gonna be the nayers, the nayer yayers.
Yeah,
We're gonna
absolutely.
be the yayers.
Well, you don't have to be a yayer. I'm hoping.
I'm gonna be a yayer.
I'm a yayer.
I'm
I can already
hoping.
tell.
Just by the look of it, it's a yay. It's a great presentation. Those berries,
You know,
vibrant.
you know.
And what did you say you did to the cashews? Candied?
These that I'm putting right now, these are candied cashews.
How do you candy cashews or walnuts or pecans or whatever? Like,
So
do
what
you
I do is I sweat them down in the pan, just a little bit of water, cook them down a little bit, and then just lightly start sprinkling sugar in there. Just normal sugar. That's what I do, and then just kind of toss it in there, set them off to the side, let them cool. You got these beautiful, tasty.
Is that
How
how?
long?
Is that how you
It
candy?
only takes a few minutes, like probably about 4 or 5 minutes.
Is that the same process to candy bacon? Because I know it's candy bacon is big. Is that
No, that's a little bit different.
candy bacon?
Like I see people cooking bacon in a frying pan. I haven't done that since I was like 9. Most of the time I cook bacon right in the oven.
Okay.
Cooks evenly, and your strips are perfect.
Good.
So now, if you're gonna candy it, what I like to do, my buddy Mitch at Wise Boxer, what he used to do is use candy bacon for the Bloody Mary. So sprinkle a little black pepper, and then
yeah.
top it off with a little brown sugar. Pop that in the oven, about 275. Let it cook
Already
low
cooked?
and slow.
Or raw?
Nope, raw bacon.
Raw
Let
bacon.
it go low and slow. Pull it out. Probably about 25 minutes later, you got these perfectly crisp strips of delicious bacon.
Do you just cook it flat in the pan?
No, you cook it right on the pan. Little parchment.
Low and slow.
Low and
That's
slow.
what I've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, go low and slow, man.
I haven't been doing that, but that's what I need to do this whole time.
Yeah, go. Especially like if you, for the Bloody Marys, we needed it to stand up.
Yeah.
So that was the way that he did it. So we needed it erect. Oh shit, that's it. I've been nervous. A little different, but a little nervous.
Wow.
It's not bad.
That's really good. It's not too sweet. That's why I
No,
like
and
it.
that's the because it's an avocado. So I didn't put any sugar in the avocado. All the sweetness comes from the nuts and the reduction around with the blackberries in it. So what I did was I straight avocado, just whipped it, added toasted cashews to it, a little bit of sea salt with the cashews, and I used that as my base. Formed them, shaped them into balls, let them set up in the refrigerator for a little while. Dipped them in the dark chocolate, topped them off with the toasted cashew, the candy cashews. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.